Okay, hi. I don't know what I will be listening to today. A few videos ago, I brought up the idea of bringing out this book, 1001 Albums You Need to Listen to Before You Die, and on days where I want to film a video but I don't know what I want to listen to, I would just do a random number generator and listen to whatever it corresponds to in that book. And that is what I will be doing today. I have a random number generator ready from 22 to 951 because those are the pages that there's actually albums on. Some pages have multiple albums. We'll cross that bridge if we get to it. And yeah, as far as what I want to happen, I would prefer to not get something that's super duper long, but I will listen to whatever I get. I'm committing to that. I'm just gonna hope and pray that I don't get like a 25-hour long album. I would also prefer if it's something that I haven't heard before because I feel like that might be more fun, but again, I will listen to whatever I get. I have also been debating if this does become a series and I end up doing it more often, how I want to do like the title and the thumbnail of the videos. So I guess you guys can let me know if you would rather have the album be a surprise or if you would rather know what it is going into it, because I do know that a lot of people aren't going to click on a video if they don't know that it's about an album they love, which is totally fair. So yeah, I guess you guys can let me know your thoughts on that. I'll probably, I don't know, we'll figure it out. I have a random number generator here, 22 to 951. And let's see what I get. $366. Okay, hold on. I got the Penguin Cafe Orchestra, music from the Penguin Cafe from 1976. They are from the UK. I don't know what this is. I guess you guys can let me know. Am I stupid? Have you guys heard of this album? Maybe I'm just uninformed. I feel like maybe I don't want to read about it beforehand because I feel like the whole point of this is kind of going into it knowing nothing. So I am not, wait, hold on. What was it called? I need to look it up on Spotify and everything. Okay, 45 minutes. Okay, I'm good with that. Yeah, okay, you know what? Fuck it, let's just listen to it. Yeah, full uncut video on Patreon and social media is linked below. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Also, let me know if any of you have ever heard this album or like even knew about it going into this, because there's a lot of stuff that I've never listened to, but I do feel like I know of a lot of music and I've never heard of this. So that's kind of fun. Okay, first song is Penguin Cafe Single. This is fine. This is cute. I was hoping when I saw Penguin Cafe that it would be like kind of cute and whimsical, and that's what I'm getting from this so far. The song is over 6 minutes long. I do love the strings. As kind of a string nut, I'm into this already. Okay. Where's this going? Those like growling sounds. Yeah, that was like a weird little deconstruction in the middle. Okay. Yeah, this part is cute. Yeah, the first and later part of that song do manage to be super catchy even without a vocal. I probably should have realized with orchestra in the artist name that I maybe didn't need to pull up lyrics on Genius. But I have them here just in case, I guess. Kind of like felt like it was like falling apart for a second and then it came back together. So that's different. I like that. You know what it kind of reminded me of? I don't know if this is just me, but the YouTube algorithm always recommends me these like weird little fusion albums. Like they're just constantly in my recommended, and this reminded me a bit of those. It's like not quite as jazzy, but it has the same kind of vibe. Okay, so next we have a song, Zop. So here is the first part of it from the Colonies. This is cute, but something about it feels a little unsettling. Maybe because it reminds me so much of children's music, where I'm like, oh. Okay, in a Sydney motel. Oh! These lyrics. Sorry, I read ahead. Complete outfit for a double suicide. We have lost the whimsy. Yeah, real tone shift on this one. But it still felt weirdly peaceful, I guess. Surface tension. So we went from like kind of cutesy, quirky to dark to sad. This lyric page is so funny. I need to put a screenshot of this out. It just says milk 3 times. I kind of like this. This is weird. I kind of enjoy it. I'm getting like a very strange combination of playful and creepy so far on this album. I'm getting a bit of both. That felt like it was directly in my brain. Okay, Coronation. Jill's Farnaby's Dream. This album feels kind of weird to be reacting to, because it's, I don't know, it's more of just like a kind of zone out and just zone out kind of album. Pigtail. And then this is the final part of this Zop piece, I guess. Oh, this one is stressing me out. I don't like that. What kind of fucking food do they serve at this cafe? That one made me weirdly anxious, just being a bunch of boops and beeps. No, it's more than just boops and beeps, but I don't know why I found that as unsettling as I did. Okay, so that was Zop. I don't know how to say that word. That was a journey, for sure. There were parts of it that felt fun and happy, and there were some parts of it that felt really sad. There were some parts of it that felt really weirdly fucked up. Yeah, strange combination of feelings. I feel like the name of the album and the artist and the cover make it feel like it's going to be really lighthearted and whimsical, and there are really fun, quirky moments so far, but there is a surprising amount of darkness. The album is kind of taking more risks than I expected it to. I feel like when I saw the album, I was like, oh, this is going to be like Club Penguin cafe music, which, to be fair, does go very hard. I also love that Club Penguin cafe music, but this is not that similar of a vibe. It kind of feels like it eased me in with like a cutesy aesthetic, and now it's starting to do some weird shit. But it does still feel kind of peaceful. It kind of feels like the album is like trying to be peaceful, but it can't. I don't know. The sound of someone you love who's going away and it doesn't matter is the next song. That is a 1975 ass song title. Oh my god, this is 12 minutes long. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, strap in. It does sound really beautiful. I think the more like soothing parts of this album are kind of what I needed today, because it's like a pretty rainy, depressing day, and I've just kind of felt weird all day. So I feel like this kind of vibe is maybe what I needed. even though this is not necessarily something I would go out of my way to listen to all the time. This is nice. I will admit that I am slightly just like staring at the timestamp on Spotify. I feel like I could see myself going back to this in certain situations, like to put on while I'm doing stuff around the house. Like I am sitting here purposely filming this video, which means that I have to devote 100% of my attention to it, but I feel like if I were not sitting here doing this, my mind would definitely be wandering. Like I don't know if it would 100% keep my attention, and maybe that's more on me than it is on the music, but you know, Gen Z attention span and all. But it's nice. It is nice. We're like halfway through the song at this point. And like I'm having a nice time. I just feel like I don't have a ton to say about it other than that it's nice and it sounds pretty. That was pretty. You know, I got a lot of feeling from it. It feels very melancholic. It did feel a little overly long for me, at least in this kind of format for me. Like I guess this did kind of succeed in getting me out of my comfort zone a little bit because I feel like I don't have a ton to say about this. And I feel like if I maybe like listened to more classical music, I would have a bit more of a perspective on this, but I just don't. I don't really listen to a ton of instrumental music in general, partially because I am such a lyric focused person. Like that's usually the initial thing that my brain goes to when I listen to music is lyrics. It is really cool to me how open to interpretation this could be. We could both be listening to this album and be thinking about completely different things, like picturing completely different memories. So it does it is cool how it feels like you can attach these songs to your own feelings and experiences more so than like a very detailed lyrical song. So I think that's cool. It's just not, it's not something that I would usually listen to. So I feel a little bit out of my depth on this one. I'm not gonna lie. But I guess that is kind of why I wanted to do this random album idea. So already succeeded. I feel like I am not knowledgeable enough to comment on this album. Next song is Huge Baby. I do love the strings on this album. As I said, I am a string nut. So that part of it is definitely doing it for me. Yeah, this one definitely has this kind of like darkness to it. I'm finding it very difficult not to just like completely zone out while I listen to this. I need to keep being like, no, you're filming a video. Keep your eyes open. It feels kind of dreamy. Like it has that kind of atmosphere to it, but it also feels a little bit slightly like a nightmare. Like there's just something like a little bit off about these songs that gives them kind of like an unsettling feeling to me. I okay. This is the only commentary that I have to give at this point, and it's going to click with literally no one else, but it's what I've been thinking about, so I'm just going to say it. There is this book series. I don't know how many of you guys are like avid readers, but Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and it's like this magical realism series where people go to a cafe to time travel. I don't really like those books, or that book. I only read one of them. I didn't think it was very good, but it like this kind of reminds me of the setting of that, where you're in like a weird cafe in an alternate universe, obviously because it's called Penguin Cafe. But there's like no windows, no clocks, no phones. Like you don't know what time of day it is. Like you just feel, it's like really uncanny. Okay, we are at the final song, which is Chartered Flight. Let's go. The like pluckiness of that sounds very playful. Feels like we're going maybe towards more of a happy ending. This feels a lot more cheerful. Yeah, that was a pretty, I don't know, more like cheerful, happier way to end the album. Um, yeah, weird little album. I don't know if it's like a favorite of mine, but I am glad I listened to it and I had kind of a good time with it. So, hell yeah. I feel like I maybe didn't have as much to say about that as I usually would because it was so like outside of my comfort zone and not what I would necessarily usually listen to. I would say that my favorite song on the album was um it was probably The Sound of Someone You Love Who's Going Away and It Doesn't Matter, even though it did feel a bit overly long to me. I I did really like the sound of it, and I did feel like I kind of got more into it as it went on. I kind of felt myself like sinking into it. So I do feel like that is maybe the one that I am most likely to check out again if I decide that I want to come back to this. And it's kind of the one that I got the most like feeling from. Like it kind of got the bigger emotional reaction out of me. Yeah, I guess this was fun. I guess we will see if I, do this again and pick another random album out of this thing. I probably will. If I'm being completely honest, I am fully prepared for this video to flop, but it's okay if it does because I had fun and I think it's a fun idea. So I will probably do it again, even if it does flop. Fuck it. Who cares? I do feel like if I have another instance like this in the future where I maybe don't have as much to say about the album, I might like just upload it uncut to Patreon. But since this is the first time I'm doing this, I will edit it up for YouTube, and then maybe in the future the like bigger, more popular albums can go on YouTube and videos more like this can just go up on Patreon. I don't know. We'll see. I'll kind of just like play it by ear, I guess, if I decide to do this ever again. Thank you for watching, if anyone is watching this. And yeah, like if you have any recommendations for if I am to do this again, like how you would maybe like me to do like a thumbnail or a title, let me know. I'm up for constructive criticism. And yeah, I guess that was that. That was music from the Penguin Cafe. Cool. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.